Hello and welcome to another Ask Cheeky. Here I'm going to tell you 3 things you can do when somebody you're negotiating a salary with says there's a salary cap, or there's a salary band, or their hands are tied, they can't increase your salary. If you get strong pushback like that, all hope is not lost. You shouldn't give up. There are some things you can say, some very specific scripts. I've taken some notes here for you that will help you. So this question came in from Jennifer Mahoney. She said, I recently got a job offer. I tried to negotiate using some of your strategies, et cetera, et cetera. They said there was a salary cap. What should I do? Okay, this is something that happened to me. I was applying for a job in Germany, and they said there was a salary cap for this type of position. I didn't know how to handle it, so I wasn't able to negotiate. I actually just accepted it. Okay, this has happened to a lot of PhDs. Learn this, know this, everything's negotiable. And everything that somebody says to you during a salary negotiation is said to get you to give up. Everything's negotiable. They will make exceptions for anyone, any job candidate. All you have to do is prove your worth, know the right things to say. You can't overcome any obstacle to get the salary you want. What they're counting on is that you'll give up, or you'll feel there's no option. You'll take the easy way out instead of pressing or doing your research on knowing what to say, and you'll quit. And you'll use that as an excuse. I see it all the time. PhD said, well, there's nothing I could do. They said there's a salary cap. There's nothing I could do because they explained this is the highest salary they've ever offered. There's nothing I could do because they said XYZ. Doesn't matter what they say. Never, never matters. It's on you and you alone to get the salary you want and to learn how to negotiate and to get better and better at negotiating. Okay? Unfortunately, most PhDs have no experience negotiating. That's why we're going to spend a lot of time talking about negotiating here and in future Ask Cheekies. We're getting a lot of these questions right now with the economy up, so stay tuned. But for now, 3 things you can do. So first of all, you want to ask a question. But before you ask the question based on what they say, right? So if they say there's a salary cap, you want to ask questions about it, but always be grateful first and be nice, generous, etc. Right? Say, I really appreciate that. I know where you're coming from. Those 2 phrases work the best. I really appreciate what you're saying, or I really appreciate that. I know where you're coming from. I'm just curious though, was there ever a time where somebody had unique skills or experiences where you made an exception to the salary cap? Right? There's always exceptions made. Now you're putting it back on them. Most of them will not lie, especially if they've recently given somebody a salary above that cap. Now, remember, the cap is usually for every specific position. So even if they come back to you and say, no, I've never made an exception for that, say, well, can you tell me a little bit about what the next position is? Can you tell me a little bit about if somebody got promoted from this position, what would be the next position title? For example, if it's a project manager, R&D associate, R&D scientist, it might be senior R&D scientist, right? It might be senior project manager. If it's senior, it might be principal. There's always something, right? What does that vertical look like? What does the career progression look like? Ask questions about career progression because they'll tell you. They're not going to hide that information from you. And then ask them what the salary cap is for that next level position. And when they tell you that, that's probably going to be closer to your walk-away number, the number you're shooting for. And now you can start having a discussion about your unique skills and experiences and how they should fit that higher level position, which would allow for that higher level salary. Okay? If that doesn't work, there's a few other things you can try. So I was taking some notes and coming up with some scripts that I've seen work before, tweaking them a little bit. And the next one that would work really well based on what we're seeing PhDs use right now is try to make a case based on, again, your unique credentials and experiences. Again, say, I completely understand what you're saying. It's totally reasonable. But I think given my experience with XYZ, my unique credentials, it could just be that you have a PhD. Maybe this is a position they don't normally hire PhDs for. Maybe you have unique technical skills or experiences. Anything you can bring up that is really valuable to the position that other job candidates likely don't have for the position, something that they maybe indicated they were really excited about bringing you in for, bring that up and say, given this unique experiences, these unique credentials, I was wondering if we could work together to make an exception. Because usually they'll do something in negotiation which is called appealing to the higher authority. They'll say, well, HR sets the terms, this is the salary cap, or this is the salary band, which just means it's a level you can't go above. Or they'll say, the CEO set this, whatever. Tie them into it, make it seem like a group effort, because remember, every negotiation is a win-win. So what you want to say is, I'm wondering, based on my unique skills and experiences, if we could work together, talk to HR together, or build a case where we might be able to make an exception here based on, again, these unique experiences and skills. Finally, one other thing you can do, if you've done your research, and that's always important, you have to be able to back up what you're saying. You have to actually have unique skills and experiences that you've thought about beforehand. You have to prepare for this beforehand. You can also do the same thing with the salary averages in that location for that position. So if you do your research and find the salary levels for the position that you're interested in, the position you're interviewing for in that location, and those salary levels are higher than what they're offering you, then just say, again, I'm really grateful, I appreciate it, I understand your position, but I've done extensive research on the salary levels for this position in this area, and I found that what you're offering is a bit lower. And then again, tie them to your shared goal. Is there a way we can work together to make an exception to the salary cap? Is there a way we can work together or make a case together to HR or to the CEO to make an exception here? Hopefully this helps you. The key is to be prepared, think out these scenarios beforehand, practice these scripts beforehand. If you want to get all of our negotiation scripts and all of our job search materials, go to PhDsGetHired.com. That's our Cheeky Scientist Association waitlist. If you put your name and email on that page saying, hey, I want to learn more about getting hired in industry, we will send you all of our job search materials. Again, PhDsGetHired.com. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.